And now we're going to introduce our All-Stars, who are truly remarkable people. Before I get to our guests right here, there are two All-Stars who are watching from home. Eddie Bell in Ruston, Louisiana. He is the director. Hello, Eddie. He is the Director of Professional Development and Research Institute on Blindness at Louisiana Tech University and the chair of National Braille Press's Touch of Genius Committee. Yes, hello, Eddie. And Paul Paravano from Arlington, Massachusetts, an avid Braille reader and NBP trustee since 1992. He is also the Director of Special Projects in MIT's Office of the Executive Vice President and Treasurer. So Eddie and Paul at home, online, via Zoom, thank you for joining us. We're happy to have you with us. And now, joining us on stage, I am going to introduce our All-Stars who are here tonight. First, Chris Devon from Quincy, Massachusetts. He has worked at NBP for 47 years as a proofreader. Judy Dixon, Washington, D.C., Public Affairs Specialist for 42 years at the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled. Paul Schrader, Silver Springs, Maryland, Vice President for Impact and Outreach at the American Printing House for the Blind, and leads the effort to educate Congress and governmental agencies about the important work being done by APH and the needs of the blind.
It's a little closer for them.
Janet Owick-Saka from Gloucester, Massachusetts, has taught generations of elementary and high school students with visual impairments over her 40 years as a teacher. Larry Hale of Cambridge, Massachusetts, world traveler and all-time leader in runs scored in beep baseball in the Northeast. He's also the ADA coordinator of the Massachusetts Executive Office of Health and Human Services. Gina Quintanilla, Burlington, Massachusetts. A prolific reader in her 12th year at the Perkins Library, helping people learn how to access newspapers, magazines, and more. She's also an ardent advocate for Braille and an NBP volunteer. And Lisa Maria Martinez from Union City, California, a life coach and founder, also former president of the National Federation of the Blind Sports and Recreation Division. She's also a mother of 3 young children and NBP trustee. She serves on the executive committee. Welcome to all of you. And we are going to start with Chris. Hello, Chris. How are you tonight?
I am fine.
We are thrilled to have you with us. We thank you very much for coming. We know your love of the Red Sox. It is legend. And how exactly did the love and your desire to be close to the Red Sox help with Braille?
Okay. Well, what happened was in 1957, late 1957, I started to follow the Red Sox, and I was getting into sports a little bit. Then the Bruins and Celtics as those seasons started. But in 58, this was going to be my first season to really get going with the Red Sox. And so, you know, you'd hear the schedule at a week at a time on the games or whatever, and these are the games that were done by Kurt Gowdy and Bob Murphy. These are the 2 Hall of Fame announcers. And, you know, we're talking Ted Williams, Jackie Jensen, Frank Malzone. And so it gets to be 1958, April 18th. It was about 4 days into the season, and I got a Red Sox schedule in Braille. Now, before that, I was reading Dick and Jane and Sally and Spot and Puff and those guys, and it didn't mean a whole lot to me. You know, I didn't have a cat named Puff, you know? So basically, I'm like, you know, this might be useful. I can look at the games ahead of time and see who they're playing on July 1st or whatever, you know. So I got this schedule, and then my first Braille puzzle came up because I remembered the teams. I'm looking at the abbreviation, BALT, Baltimore, New York, Washington. That's good. I see the CHI. What's CHI? And I'm thinking of the teams, and I just wasn't with it that day. So I said to my mother, I should say, I said, what's CHI? She said, Chicago. I said, I didn't know Chicago was spelled with a CH. That would be Chicago. I don't know. I don't understand that. But anyway, so the deal was that got me going, and I was ready to go. And I don't know who arranged it, my mother or our Braille teacher, Mrs. Woods, who my friend Judy to my left had as well as a Braille teacher a couple of years later. I don't know who arranged me to get the schedule, but it was one of the best things because it made Braille useful on April 18th, 1958.
Wow, it's a great story. First, thank you. And again, thanks for coming. Now I'm going to move over here to Judy. Judy Dixon, who is unbelievable, authored 17 books for the National Braille Press. Do I have that right?
That's correct.
That's wonderful. That's just remarkable. And tell us about your connection.
I have loved writing books for the National Braille Press, especially about things that I really care about, I find useful, and I feel I can convey to other Braille readers. My favorite ones have been about labeling things. I label everything. Any Braille reader who comes to my house actually chuckles about the things that are labeled. It's quite amusing. And my favorite one have been about photography and teaching blind people how to take pictures, especially blind people who use iPhones, because so many things we do these days, whether it's scanning with an iPhone or accessing AI or whatever we do, it needs to be something we have to take a picture of. So knowing, I mean, how far away do you need to be to take a picture of that small thing? How do you take a picture of text? So I wrote books about that. And what I did was I hired a professional photographer to come and teach me how to take pictures. And she did, she was great. And I learned how to do it from her, and I conveyed that into the book that I wrote.
That's remarkable. I mean, to think of taking pictures with an iPhone, truly, truly amazing. And congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and being with us tonight, Paul Schrader. You are a remarkable person. Also, you have testified before Congress. I don't want to block everybody from being able to see you, and I don't want to interfere with the pup. So you know what I'm going to do, Janet? I'm just going to sit on your lap. I mean, because frankly, I just can't think of a better way to, if I wasn't so heavy, honey, believe me, if I wasn't so heavy. But anyway, Paul, thank you so much for coming. You have testified before Congress. I mean, you have been such an advocate. You're truly remarkable. Please talk about it.
You know, you didn't offer to sit in my lap, and I'm a little bit sad about that. But however, I know my wife is watching, so I'm not that sad.
I'm telling you right now, Paul, you've given me a reason to lose 25 pounds for next year, and we will meet back here on the stage, but I digress. I'm sorry. Talk, please, about the important work you do.
You got a deal. By the way, it's quite possible that Congressman Santos has also sat in my lap. I don't know. All right, so hang on. All right, so yeah, I've had the good fortune of working in and around public policy for most of my career, working for improved laws for people who are blind, low vision, people with disabilities, et cetera, a lot of technology work. And I've had the good fortune to be able to go give Congress a piece of all of our minds every so often to talk about the important changes that needed to be made, whether it was efforts to make cell phones accessible, that we're all living much better lives as a result, and I'm proud to have played a very small part of that, but a part of trying to move that effort forward, or helping to find funding for some of the valuable programs that we have, whether it's the older blind program, or of course the one I work for now. I would be remiss, because my boss is sitting in the audience, if I didn't mention the American Printing House for the Blind as well. So I'm happy to do that. And I want to say that it really has been an honor to be able to have that opportunity to be speaking on behalf of this community, to raise our voice, to help focus our efforts, and to help make change happen. And I couldn't have done it without having Braille in front of me every time I was testifying, whether it was on a technology device or on sheets of paper. I was able to be much more fluid in providing my testimony because I had the support of Braille.
And we are so lucky to have the support of you, Paul, and your advocacy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And Janet Ulwick-Saka, I'm sorry I sat on your lap. Let's just start with that. I mean, I'm not exactly, I know you were okay with it, but will you ever walk again? So you have sight, and you have been a teacher for 40 years?
Yes, ma'am. I've been teaching 40 years, and I'm sort of the one there on the front lines. All these people are doing wonderful things, but I'm there as a teacher just teaching that Braille to the kids that need it. And it is such a wonderful, wonderful experience. I can't tell you.
Well, and nobody, I mean, there are a lot of us who have our reasons for being here tonight and for supporting the National Braille Press, but I don't think that there's anybody, frankly, more than you, who can really talk about and understand why we need it.
Absolutely. So we were in the schools. We're trying to provide everything for these children right in their own public schools. And the press puts out these books. They're able to deliver the books at a price that the kids can afford. We in the schools get those books through the state, and it's, just to have Braille in the moment is perfect for these children. They need it there when they need it, same time as their peers.
Hear, hear. Janet, thank you. Thank you to you. And Larry Hale, you love to travel the world, and you use public transportation everywhere you go. And that's challenging to those of us with sight. And you are amazing. You use Braille. I'd love you, please, to talk about that.
Well, sure, Susan. Some people may find this hard to believe, but I really do enjoy traveling. Oh, really? Does he enjoy traveling? But one example of it is, for example, going to Spain. In Madrid, they have Braille everywhere, in many cases, right where you need it. So, for example, if I'm going down a set of stairs that leads to a platform at the top of the stairs, on the railing, it actually has the train line and the destination of the train that you will reach if you were to go down the stairs into that platform. They also have tactile guide paths, so if you follow the guide paths that lead you to the stairs, you can read the Braille to tell you what platform you're at and go down to the platform. So because of that, Braille helps to kind of increase independence and independent travel. So.
Wow, that's amazing. I don't know. I don't suppose you have anything you want to say about the MBTA in Boston. Okay, you just said it. Thank you so much, Larry. All right. Gina, it's great to see you. It's great to see you. Everybody knows Gina, and I feel like I'm standing in your way. It's great to see you, honey, and thank you so much. I know you have a special phrase that you use for Braille, I am told. Could you share that with us?
Yes, I say Braille is brains without batteries. I don't need electricity. I don't even need a password, and it's great. And I can read a private note that my husband writes to me, which is really nice. And I can write. I mean, I can't see to write write anymore, but with Braille I can. So it's not just even about reading. It's also I can write down my own things and be able to have them. So
that's great. It's wonderful. It's an understatement. And you also volunteer, which is, again, wonderful. Tell us about your volunteer work, please, Gina.
Oh, I've been a long time volunteer. When I was younger, I volunteered for the hospital. I was a candy striper, and I wrote a report on it, but I put 2 P's in that, so I apologize to my teacher. But But my spelling has gotten really better with, especially with reading Braille. I'm able to make sure I get my spelling right this time.
So good.
But I do like to volunteer and put people's names in Braille and things like that. Yeah.
Well, congratulations for all you do, and thank you. Thank you so much, Gina. Oh, man. Lisa Maria Martinez. Yeah, she's funny, huh? I know, we have met before. We have been on the stage before. You and your son were here with us, and you're remarkable. That was 4 years ago? Is that what you're saying? That seems like a long time ago, really. But I know that you have 3 young children. You're going to read for us a page from their favorite book tonight, Lisa Maria.
Yeah, so all 3 of my kids are into Dr. Seuss. And that could be because I'm into Dr. Seuss. So 4 years ago, you heard me read Goodnight Moon in Spanish, but tonight I thought I'd read our favorite part of Hop on Pop. So here we go. Hop, pop, we like to hop. We like to hop on top of Pop. Stop, you must not hop on Pop. Say, what does this say? See, he, me, we, pat, pup, pop. He, 3, tree, be, top, hop, stop. Ask me tomorrow, but not today.
That's good. And I have a good authority, I think. Somebody said you're writing a book. You're now writing a book?
Maybe not a book, but yes, I'm trying to break into the writing world, so we'll see.
That's great. So you want to tell us about it? What are you writing?
It is not for public conversation.
But anybody who knows Lisa Maria knows that it is going to be worthwhile, and we're all going to be waiting for the book, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much, and congratulations. Let's hear it for all of our All-Stars. You did a great job, truly all remarkable. We have hats. I'm going to do my best not to fall off the stage. We have, as a thank you for all of you, yes, can you, let's see, how are we going to do this? Okay. Here is one for you, Lisa Maria. Thank you so much. So, you know what, that's not going to really probably work out that well. So, can you take my, okay. Here is one for you, my doll. Thank you so much. And feel here, feel the, yes, NB in Braille. And thank you very much. Can you see it's a baseball hat, specially given to us for tonight and gifted to you. Here is one for you. Yes, and read the Braille. Here is a hat. And I'm back, yes. I am back, but I'm not sitting on your lap. And thank you, Judy. It is a baseball hat and Braille on the, yes. Yes, and tell us what it says in the Braille. On the,
NBP is Braille.
that's what it says on the hat. NBP is Braille. And here's one for you, Chris. Thank you. Thank you again. And let's hear it for our All-Stars. Nicely done. Yeah.